Hi everyone, this is Kat of Catalyst Holistic Life Coaching, bringing your life in alignment with you. Today I'm here to do your reading for this solar eclipse in Cancer, a new moon eclipse, if you will, as well as starting into our summer solstice this way. So, big shifting in that sense. We're moving into the first cardinal sign in the water trinity. And the reason it's so much more potently felt as like a really new start, like something that we can really seed a lot of intention into, is because it is meeting at 0 degrees Cancer. So when they're moving through degrees, uh, the new moon, the moon and the sun are meeting at the same degree. And with a full moon, they're opposite. So the fact that they're starting at 0 degrees is a really big deal. And we also have Mercury just went retrograde in Cancer as well. And the sun just moved into Cancer. So it's this really, really watery energy, this nurturing, kind of self-protective energy in a lot of ways, because Cancer is the crab. So it's kind of this outer, harder shell. But Cancer is the sign of the mother, and it is the sign of the moon. It is ruled by the moon. So it is going to be, I feel, we're really starting to delve deeper into our emotions with, how do I want to say this? Without withholding. Like basically we're moving into a phase where we're very okay with feeling exactly how we feel and expressing it. I don't know if it'll so much be outwardly as much as we're wanting to turn inward and really start to nurture ourselves. And because Cancer does have to do with the mother as well, some of us could be experiencing stuff to do with the mother wound, or if we're parents ourselves. I'm a mother, so learning to work on the home. Cancer rules our home quadrant. So how are we making our homes more comfortable? We're not so much focused as outwardly. We're focused on this community of nurturing. And so for the meditation that I was doing before this, I've been getting songs lately and I kind of like it. It's random. I don't know if it's just because the imagery, like a song immediately pops into my head, but I'll just say it anyway. So the immediate imagery I got was the ocean, and it was really strong tides coming in. Everything's being thrown about. Nobody quite has their footing. It just kind of came out of nowhere. And that song, I think it's like a 90s song. Don't know who it's by, but I will look and post it in the link below for this video. But the song where it goes, the tide is high, but I'm holding on. I'm gonna be your number one. I don't know why that song popped in my head first, but I really like that part of saying, the tide is high, but I'm holding on. So there's a lot going around. There's a lot in the world right now that is just kind of overwhelming. We're having our own overwhelming emotions, and we're just not able to really hold steady ground at this moment, it seems like. And with eclipses, new moon eclipses, like powerful change. So when the tide is high, that is like a change. The tides move in and out. It's constantly changing. But sometimes tide is really high when there is a full moon. So it can kind of hit us out of nowhere. So whether it's in our personal lives or in the outer world, we're all going through this really big shift together. And it's because we are learning to tune more inwards, because there's so much retrograde going on as well. This is a lot of deep inner work, and especially in the watery world, we're starting to deal with our emotions. Like we've got stuff in Pisces as well, retrograde. And that Cancerian energy, Mars just moved. I think it's still retrograding in Pisces. Oh no, sorry, Mars isn't retrograde yet. It will be here in a couple months. So we'll be dealing with that as well. But it is moving into Aries soon. It's in Pisces right now. So we're going through this kind of water world, like I discussed with our weekly guidance as well. So, to talk a little bit about new moon in Cancer, you and your loved ones are safe. So, just a reassurance that you are safe, you are protected. You can focus on nurturing yourself. Like, this could be a phase of, we always talk about doing that self-care, but now is really the time to implement that with purpose and with intent, where we're really doing this for ourselves. We're not trying to do it with some like end goal. We are actually feeling into, no, I really just want to do this for myself. Okay. So, wherever you're at, wherever you're tuning in, this is just a reading for the general collective, the energy that the new moon may be bringing forward. It may not resonate with you, but this is also a month-long cycle, so it could not be appearing just yet. We just started the new moon, so it could be something that builds up and the climax comes at the full moon. So just over the next couple weeks, be open to whatever the universe brings forward for you. So working with my Muse Tarot, I like this because it's the most feminine deck that I have, so I think it's pertinent. And then our Moonology and our Goddess Guide for the next couple weeks, or for the full lunar cycle, however you want to look at it. So wherever you're tuning in, thank you for watching, and go ahead and ground in, taking a deep breath, and be open to feeling all of the feels. I'm sorry for the glare. I tried closing my blinds, but clearly it didn't work all the way, so it's okay. We'll get a little illumination on this. So starting with the tarot, just kind of the overarching energy for this reading. The first card we have is the Hierophant. So the Hierophant was last week's starting card. The Hierophant has to do with the teacher, the guru, the enlightened one. And this woman is coming upon, this guru. She's been searching for her, searching for the wisdom. But in this deck, this really talks about searching more for the guru within. We've made this whole journey, we've had this dedication, but sometimes we don't realize this power is within us. Like, what we're seeking without is actually within. We hold just as much power within ourselves. And so this could be really that journey. You're being called to learn more about what it is you're supposed to be taking on your path. So for some of you, maybe this could be a teacher coming forward, whether it's a certain situation, person. There could be a teacher coming forward for you that you have been asking for. You've maybe been asking for some sort of mentor. And Cancer does kind of have to do with the home and connections in a way, our loved ones. So you could be really calling in more of that family, or somebody who's going to teach you how to feel more connected with yourself. And that could just be you turning inwards and saying, I'm really ready to learn how to do things differently. Okay, so the second card we have is the Ace of Materials. So this is a seed being planted. This is new growth, new opportunity. This is stuff in the physical world. This is the earth. So material things. We're planting this new seed to start to change our outer world. And we're taking in this wisdom to learn how to nurture and grow that, because new projects, new ideas, new dreams need to be nurtured like a baby. Everyone says with their businesses or their projects, you hear them, people call them their babies. And that's because they're putting the time and the effort and the nurturing into it. This isn't something that's just going to be, we're going to, have all the answers right away. We're just going to be we have to seek these outside sources to find all the big answers. This is something that's going to take time, something that's going to take work and love and dedication. So we're really being called to our higher purpose, as I discussed last week. Like, yeah, this is a really big change. This is a big shifting point. Cardinal is taking action, moving forward. So we're shifting into who we are really going to be, I want to say. Like, we have been preparing for this for such a long time. We've been wanting to make these changes, and now is the fertile ground to plant on. And especially since we just shifted into summertime, which is Pitta in Ayurveda. So it's fire and water. So we're carrying the water from Kapha. We have the fertile ground, the wet ground from all of the rain, and now we have the fire, which is that spark of life, which is that first breath, because fire is in the east, and so fire is that first life that comes in. So the spark that ignites the seed, the sun really coming out, the heat, what is nurturing and making us grow. So it's warmth and comfort at the same time. Okay. All right, so moving into our moon cards. The first card represents what is rising up in the collective, what is coming into our awareness. So, full moon in Gemini, the answers you need are coming. So Gemini has to do with communication and data. I really like what was being discussed through Gemini season. I was understanding a little bit more about the difference between Gemini and Sagittarius, because they're polar opposites on the wheel, and they both have to do with knowledge. But Gemini is the collection of all the knowledge, whether it's true or not. There's a little bit of truth in everything. So it's the collection of all the data. Everybody's putting it all in. And so that could be this kind of tidal overwhelm of just like, I don't know what's real anymore. I don't know what makes sense. And we're going outward to seek answers. We're trying to look to someone to give us answers because we're just like, I don't know what's going on. And this is coming from a place of sitting with the self, like turning to that inner guru, turning to that inner trust, because we may not have this clarity right now, but we can feel. Moving into Cancer, we want to start feeling about what is right. We want to move from this heart space. If you haven't watched last week's reading, I think it'll really tie into this, because this talks about spiritual truth, and Gemini has all about to do with communication. So I think it'll really pertain to this as well. Okay, so the second card represents the main message of this new moon is waning moon. What do you need to release? So in order for us to make these powerful changes, to have this blank slate, to have the empty cup to fill up, we have to release things as well. In order to have this pot that we want to plant a new seed in, to have this fertile ground, we have to clear the dead and the dying away. We have to make the land fertile again. So we're really getting this attention on what are we needing to let go of. And since it is in Cancer, I would say this is more emotional core wounding, maybe childhood wounding that is coming to the forefront, with Mercury going retrograde in Cancer as well. This could be learning how to communicate your boundaries, learning how to communicate being safe or your needs. A lot of us have this issue of speaking our needs because we don't want to push people away, because a lot of us had this experience of when we asked for our needs when we were children, we were met either in a very abrupt way, where our parents didn't respond in the ways that we wanted them to, or it could have even been abusive for some of us. And so we're reintegrating how to communicate what it is that we really want. Because when we start to actually say and affirm to the universe what it is that we need, it responds. And we're kind of afraid of that response because we think it's going to take things away from us that we really want. But in reality, it's giving us exactly what we want. We just may not be able to perceive it. So planting that seed of intention of what is it that I really want? Where do I want to be nurtured in growth? Where do I want to stand strong in my beliefs and my structure system? What are we releasing? Okay. So then the last card represents the final outcome of this cycle, what's going to be coming to the end towards the next new moon. We have third quarter moon, adjustments are required. So this could be coming all to fruition at the third quarter moon, which is waxing, so as we're moving towards the full moon. So this could be a significant time for some of you. And so saying that, the final outcome, adjustments, again, release. So we're going to be planting these seeds. We're going to be seeing our first resistances to planting these seeds because it's so new for us. And we're going to have to make these adjustments. We're going to have to make changes because we will hit those points where we realize this isn't going to come with me to the other side. So how do I need to adjust? Or maybe whatever plans you have, whether it's with work or projects or what have you, you're needing to kind of take a look again and make sure that it's really actually lining up with your values. Is it really your spiritual truth? And if it's not, to release it. And this could also be saying some of your own personal things that you think are going to work in this next cycle, the way you interact with people, your shadow patterns that you may not be aware of. You may have to start adjusting yourself. You may have to start paying attention to, that's not actually in alignment with me anymore. I don't want to behave like this, so I'm going to adjust my behavior. And that will really be potent as well. We have another lunar eclipse in Capricorn. So that will really be highlighting our structures as well. This is like the mother-father axis. So this could really start to crack down on the disciplinary aspects of our experience, like how we experience discipline or how we're trying to discipline others or control others. That could make the emotions go high, and that could be where these adjustments are coming in, where we're realizing, this isn't the most nurturing to either myself or to other people, so I need to make these adjustments. Okay, so moving into our goddess guide for the next couple weeks or for the month, whichever you prefer, we have the goddess Yi of the sun, and she's in her alignment. So when she's in her alignment, like this is calling us to align with her energy when they're in reverse like this. So Yi, the goddess of the sun, this is, it's an interesting time. We're in the moon, but soon we're going to be shifting into the sign of the sun, which is Leo, in the next month. So towards the end of the month, we're going to be starting to be called to shine our light forward. And when she's in alignment like this, she's asking you, where are you trying to dim to fit in? That was the message last week as well. Where are we hiding ourselves? Where are we kind of covering up so we're not so visible? We're not taking the spotlight. We're kind of on this interesting precipice of wanting to really be seen for who we are, but not wanting to be rejected for who we are. That's a huge thing for a lot of us. But it's this enlightenment, I feel, like this enlightenment of just realizing our true potential. Like we're planting these seeds and it's really going to come forward like out of the darkness, like, the eclipse where it's like the moon covers the sun, the darkness in the light. So the shadow, what's trying to cover us up? What's trying to keep us hidden from the world? What's trying to keep us from really shining that bright light of ours? Is it people in your life? Is it situations? Is it yourself? Is it your environment? Whatever it is, the adjustments are going to become more clear. The answers to what is holding you back will become more aware because we're starting to feel more of what that's like. We're allowing ourselves these feelings of what brings us love and what brings us down, what dims us. And we're not willing to accept this anymore because we're seeing injustices and wrongdoings done to others outside of us. And look at how the world has reacted. So imagine like having that much like empathy and understanding of what's happening to us internally and personally. What if we had that much of a reaction to things that were wrongly done to us? And we're finally taking that stand for ourselves. We are putting that energy just as much into standing up for what's right for us as well as the rights of humanity. Okay. I think that's all I got to say on that. That's all that's coming forward. Yeah, I really feel this like personally, like there is this big shift. A lot of astrologers that I have been following as well are, talking about this is just really big for humanity in general. It's not just any one person. Like, we are going through these big changes. We are going through these trials, this high tide, because we are being prepared for something so much bigger than we have experienced in a long time. And we're getting the chance to make something different. We are getting the chance to make this new paradigm for ourselves. Okay? Yes, very good. I'm so excited that it's summer. So excited to be in a more feely, lovey sign. Gemini is a little too much information. So thank you so much. If you tuned into this, let me know if it resonated with you. Feel free to like, comment, share, or subscribe. I am including links below to my Cash Apps if you feel like tipping or donating for my business, or you would like to buy me a tea, anything like that. All donations and energy exchanges are appreciated. So thank you for tuning in. As well, I am currently working with coaching clients as well. I opened 8 spots to take on some clients for free. And I still have some spots open. So if you are interested in some holistic life coaching in any area of your life, I am, looking for an array of people to work with. So whatever you are interested in, please reach out to me if you really feel called towards it. I would love to work with you. So thank you so much again. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.